There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? It is to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I had to put her on the side and worry about
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy
There
has...
is not, really? It is to me. Right. Idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, you know, that's real tough.
But I had to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? It is to me. But I had to put her on the side and worry about the boys. But I had to.
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I had to put her. But I had to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the lab. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz. No, this is not the interview room. I'm telling you, man. I've met a lot of people in my life, and one thing that I guess I've always appreciated is honesty. But good Lord, that was something. Let me see here. Hello. How's everybody doing tonight? Make sure that everybody can hear me just fine. Shortly here, I will put up the... Yes, I'm going to keep buffering. Let's see. Are we buffering, folks? I don't know. I'm not sure. 10 seconds. Everyone coming in. Yeah, I don't even know. Let me see. Am I buffering? All right, hold on. I say I hate it. Audio's breaking up. Blah blah blah. Hi, Josh mods. Cutting in and out. Okay. Yeah, we're having a little weather. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but let me try here. Is that any better? Let me know. Any better? Everything's slow. Buffering. I mean, leave and come back. I really don't know. Hold on. Everything's frozen. It's great start. Great start to the show. Great start to the show. Yeah, the chat's not really. It's really really far behind, so I don't know. Let me see here. Give it a. We'll see if we can try to take a call here. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air. I don't know if this is going to work, but where are you calling from? Hold on one second.
It is about Michael Vaughn's case. Please.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Would you be? No, that's okay. Would you be able to give us an update as much as you know on the Michael Vaughn case?
Well, on the Michael Vaughn case, it's really kind of in the same situation as the Summer Wells case. I mean, they're just following leads. They're it's really at a standstill, at least from the public's.
Which is really frustrating. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, like it was especially from the public standpoint, it is very quiet. And so I don't really know exactly what's going on behind the scenes there. And we won't ever know until probably something happens. But, it's been 10 months now, not a lot to really report, unfortunately. You've been following that case very close, or?
As close as you have, only mostly from your information.
Yeah. And it's just one of those cases, where once you start hitting the year marks, everything gets really, really tough. And I've noticed that I've noticed that over the last 2 months or so, people take it upon themselves. They become very angry about the pace of cases, and seem to try to generate news on their own by possibly attacking families or attacking just people that are somewhat close to the case. And I'm really hoping that kind of stuff doesn't interfere with the actual investigation. So
I agree. It just leads to more rumors and bad leads.
Yeah, and we're really, 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 obviously, we're really hopeful that changes and that Michael's brought home safe. And his mother, Brandy, is adamant that he will come home, and I hope that every day, but as of right now, I have no updates, really. Unfortunately, I wish I did.
Well, thank you for taking my call. I think we finally got off to a good start.
We're giving it a try. The weather's really bad over this way.
Well, go Celtics over on this way.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what was going. The Celtics? What? Yeah. Well, I'm over here in the Golden State.
Yeah, I know. And I love Steph Curry, but I have to stay on my side of the country.
That's so funny. Well, I hope the Red Sox lose, and I hope that the Celtics lose, and any other Boston team this week. No offense.
Oh, you mean the city of champions?
No.
You never heard that phrase?
No, I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that phrase. But you're also responsible. You're also responsible for the Boston Tea Party and Whitey Bulger, the Italian mafia.
Hey, we're not boring.
That's true.
Oh, please.
Boston.
It's all the East Coast. At least we're not boring. We got things going on.
Boston cream pie.
The donut.
Yeah, it's Dunkin'. Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts. All those things. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for calling in.
You got red. Take care.
All right. Bye bye.
Keep the show.
I was in. I don't know how good it's working, but we're trying here. We're trying. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
I can. Yeah. How are you?
Hi, Josh. This is Colleen. I talked to you last week. I think it was your first live call-in show.
Oh, okay. How you
from
doing?
Massachusetts. Good. Perfect timing because I'm from Massachusetts too. So you guys were just talking about Boston.
Hold on 1 second. Why are people asking where the mods are? I can see the mods in the chat. I don't. What is that?
They're in the chat. The
they're
mods
always
are
in the chat. What are they talking about?
I have no. Maybe they're just not looking because they're in there.
They're there every day. They're the best ever. Yeah. I'm seeing them now. Anyway,
they're totally there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Ignore however the show is. We all love you. We don't mind waiting. We know things happen.
I appreciate that. Thank
you. Wait. I think I can speak for most of us to say we're totally cool with waiting and totally understand, but I know it can be totally flustering. So I wanted to give you some support with that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I also, I know we're talking about cases and there's been such a obviously slowdown in so much stuff. And I don't like to watch the 4 or 5 hour lives when I don't even know. I can't even watch to know what they're talking about. It's too much.
Yeah.
But I did see something. I've been watching more of the Dave Radar stuff from Equisearch recently. He was on like Duty Ron and stuff like that this week. Mm-hmm. And I heard something, and I don't know if you know anything about it. He was talking about how they were allowed to search like the perimeter, but they were never allowed to go on the actual property.
Yep.
And do you know if that is like, if there is a reason, like legal reason behind that, or, of course there was other creators saying it's shady that they weren't, Hawkins County was being shady because of that. But I was thinking more of maybe there's like a reason behind that, evidence wise, maybe,
Well, so there's probably a couple reasons for that, but the first one is if law enforcement says you can't go on the property, you can't go on the property. If Don and Candace tell them they can't go on the property, they can't go on the property. So one of the two has told them for whatever reason that they can't go on the property. I would imagine that both of them have said to not go on the property. And although by now the crime scene, well, if there is a crime scene, we don't know if there is or isn't. And, but it's possible that there is a crime scene there and that they don't want, nothing. Equisearch is a fantastic organization and they do awesome work. Right. But they, they're not law enforcement, and they have to listen to law enforcement, and they also have to report to law enforcement. So anything involving the actual property, I mean, could be a major liability. But I don't even think law enforcement would have to go and get I think law enforcement would have to go get a search warrant now just to go back onto the property, because I believe they had carte blanche at first, but now there doesn't seem to be any cooperation going on. But
I don't think anyone's there anymore. I think the whole property, from what it sounds like, has been completely abandoned at this point. So
really, because it probably looks the exact same as when people live there.
Oh yeah. Oh my God! Of course it does. Of course it does.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I don't think anyone's there.
No, I don't either. Actually,
if anyone ever bought that property, so I would just think everything would just be knocked down and start. They were talking about that school shooting. Not to get into another whole subject, but they were talking about how they wanted to completely rip down the school because it's too traumatic, and that property, just everyone that seems to go there just says it's just so dark and just such a bad vibe. So I don't know, but yeah, you're right. I'm sure it looks exactly exactly the same.
Yeah, you know,
Abandoned or not.
they don't really make a habit of tearing stuff down when horrific. Sometimes they do. They didn't
No,
during
yeah.
Columbine. I think they made a new library.
Yeah.
Parkland, I think that
Yeah.
they did part of it. I'm not really, you know, look, a good wind could knock that place over. I mean, if it wasn't protected by
Oh my God.
trees, that thing would be flat as a pancake by now.
I don't even know how people live, like how, I mean, it's worse than camping. And I'm not a camper. I know that, but
Yeah,
it's literally worse than, it's dirtier than camp. You know what I mean?
well,
they would have been better putting up some tents.
yeah, it would have been,
In my
the
opinion.
tent would have been much cleaner.
Right. And it's not oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I think that there's so many hazards in that house. Black mold, I'm sure. Can you imagine like a little child having to grow? Yeah, and those things carry horrible diseases, and you know,
it's just heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching. 4 children just in that. I just can't. When Chris went down to the basement, that was when I was so stuck up on the Gabby Petito case. That's when I really kind of got on YouTube, and once that was kind of over, I'm like, I keep hearing Summer Wells, but everyone keeps saying don't deep dive. It's way bigger than, you know, and of course I deep dive and I had to catch up. But it was just so heartwarming. When I saw that basement, that was my turning point. I'm like, oh wow. Like wow.
Yeah.
It just said everything to me, honestly. I have 4 kids myself, and and it's not about money. I mean, I don't have any money either, but every dime I have goes into making sure my children are well taken care of and comfortable, and they don't know how bad, how bad some days can be. They have no idea, and that's the way it should be, in my opinion. But
well, and that's another thing that I think, you know, when you have children, look, it's not even about money. It's just about cleanliness.
No.
It's about, you know, just
taking care of that.
Yeah, it begs belief that children had to live there, and I mean, it just adds to the aura of this story, like this horrible, deep. Like when I think about this, when I think about the Summer Wells case, it's all dark. It's just there's no silver lining. There's nothing good that has came out of this at all. Nothing. I can't think of one thing other than the boys being removed from that house. That's it. And
that is the silver lining. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
But other than that, it's just another tragic abuse of the system and skirting around the system.
I know that there's other people that want to talk, but just really quick, because I haven't actually been able to bring this up. The whole CPS system is broken, and I've known this. My nephew, one of my kids is actually my nephew. He's 24 now, but when he was 6 actually, my sister, who is struggles with drugs, and I knew he wasn't in a good situation, and she wouldn't give him up. Legally there was nothing I could do other than call CPS. They opened a case, and for a year I felt good thinking they're checking up on her because she wouldn't talk to me. So I had this little nephew that I just had to depend on CPS to do the right thing. A year later, I got a call on a Friday night, like 6 o'clock, saying they had taken him. But they didn't take him because they checked up on her and bad things had happened. She actually called them and said, I can't do this anymore, and gave him over. They had never in 1 year with an open case even called so much as to check on him. And when he got to me that night, it was a horrendous situation. And I mean, just awful. I won't get into that on air, but I actually ended up adopting him eventually. And he just graduated college and he's doing amazing. He moved to California and he's started his own company and he's doing so good. But I don't even want to think if she hadn't done that.
Yeah.
If she hadn't handed him over, where he'd be now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the whole point to that story is the system has been broken for so many years. And it's anything we need to put in this country, it's that. It's just a reform of that, Mm-hmm. I could just go on. And I know there's other people that need to call in. So
Well, I just want to say
I'm
that
sorry.
the one thing is, and I don't disagree that the CPS system has its major issues, but we only hear about the failures. You know, we don't really hear
True.
about the success stories, and I know that there are success
Yeah.
stories out there, and I know that there are a lot
Yeah.
of people that work really, really hard to try to do
Yeah.
what they can with the resources that they have. But yeah, state by state, it's probably underfunded, and it should be, if anything, overly funded.
Absolutely.
People,
Yeah.
they should have
None of
every
that
bit
was
of
a knock on the
resource.
actual worker.
Well,
That's what I meant. Like, no, I'm not knocking the workers. I just, the funding needs to go into it or something. And we as a community just really need to come together as a country and help, you know, as
Mhm.
much as we can. And I think with these cases, especially Summers, brought such awareness to that.
all right,
So,
I agree. Well, thank you
anyway,
so
I
much
don't
for
want to
calling.
keep going.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'll
Take
cut you off
care.
if you keep going. Don't even worry about that. You're fine. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
All
Have
right.
a great night, Josh.
You
Bye.
too. Bye-bye. All right, so we're rocking and rolling here. Finally, let me see, and let me just make sure everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, caller. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Bluntville, Tennessee.
Go ahead.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, how you doing? What can I do for you?
Well, I'm calling in regards to Summer Wells.
Okay, sure. What's on your mind?
Sure. I'm going back all the way back to Leslie and Allie's interview.
They're fascinating interviews. What exactly is there a certain point that you of the interview?
Correct. When Leslie said that Hunter called to let her know that Summer was gone. Gone. Not
Kidnapped.
disappeared, walked off the property. Yes. Abducted. And she said Hunter was upset because she was alive the last time Hunter saw her.
Yeah, they well.
Who said?
Go ahead.
Who said anything about Summer being deceased?
Every single person at that table thought that Summer was gone, deceased.
Correct.
Great grandma, Allie, Leslie, I believe Hunter said that they had to do something with her, and that's what. But what I found interesting about that interview, and I say interesting, is that Candace was playing with her hat and that she said she had to go to bed early the night that her daughter went missing because she's got to go take a lie detector test in the morning. I don't know what kind of response that is from any human, let alone a mother.
Oh, correct. But this was the interview with Unmasked.
Oh, yeah.
Not with Chris.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And you're sitting there and you're listening, and this is the very first interview that was done with Leslie and Allie after Chris. So it sounds to me as if it was totally different than Chris's interview.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, that wouldn't surprise me even in the slightest because I don't think that anybody else is responsible for her going missing, Summer going missing. I don't want to say her, but she's a real person with a real name. And so I don't believe that anybody is responsible for it except Dawn, Candace, and Grandis. In what order that is and what their culpability is, I don't exactly know. I don't think, obviously, nobody but them know. I don't think Allie knows. I don't think Leslie knows. Hunter may know, but that's a toss-up to me too. And so,
well, I think Hunter knows.
Do you? You think he knows? You think he knows exactly what happened?
I think he was there.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't.
I just, in the back of my mind, for Leslie to say that he wasn't even there, just makes me think that he's told Leslie the whole story. I think Leslie knows more. I think Hunter knows more.
It wouldn't surprise. Look,
Am I
it wouldn't
wrong?
surprise me if everybody knows more. That's not even a debate, really. And I think that, when they give these interviews, kind of these flippant interviews, that you could say that, everybody kind of puts their foot halfway through the door, but they always leave that back foot back there just in case. They don't want to implicate themselves so much. But as for Allie and the Jody Sue, I know. Oh, wait, her line dropped. She was a great caller. Sorry about that. Let's see. That caller dropped. Sorry about that. And thank you for the phone call. And I absolutely do appreciate it. But, yeah, I think that everybody probably knows more. Sorry about that. And let's see what we got. Go ahead, caller. Where are you calling from? Hold on one second. Is this Mary?
This is Mary.
Hi, Mary. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, good. Thank you for calling. What are you up to? Are you making a Josh dog?
Well, I'm still thinking about how we're going to do this.
Yeah.
I didn't see last night the results of the name.
I think it was the Diaz dog.
Okay.
I think. I mean,
all right.
that sounds pretty. That seems pretty on point, right?
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So, so I just want to call in and
Little cheese
get
and
that info
jalapenos.
from you. Yeah. What do you think about that? Do you want me to add that or no?
I mean, it kind of goes along with my Spanish heritage.
Right.
I like cheese and I like jalapenos, but maybe just like small little, little small chunks. I guess people can make them without it, but I think the recipe should call for jalapenos.
Right. Also, I was thinking because they do sell. I'm not sure if they sell hot dogs with cheese and jalapeno in them, or if they sell just like sausages with cheese and jalapeno in them. But I was kind of thinking about making both of them, maybe some hot dogs and sausages, do both and see how they turn out.
Oh, I mean, I like the idea of options,
right.
I definitely, man, because I've had hot dogs, or more like brats with cheese and jalapenos in them, and that would do the trick just the same way.
Right, and then just turn them into a corn dog.
Turn them into a corn dog. Hey, while you're here, did you ever hear back from Candace?
I didn't.
Yeah,
I did not. I tried calling her. It went straight to voicemail. Right. And then I did send her a message, and I never did hear back from her.
Yeah. When was the last time you heard from her?
Actually, it was, when was it? Oh my gosh. The last time I actually heard from Candace and not Donnie was when they played that phone prank on me.
Right.
So, yeah, I was pretty upset with her, and I was messaging her, and the next day after that happened, and I said, why did you do that to me? And she was pretending
to be her. I think it was Donnie that was actually messaging with me, but it was on her phone, so I don't know. But that was the last time that I heard from her. Yeah.
Yeah, probably
Yep.
for the best. Unfortunately, that was a pretty awful thing that they did.
It was. Yeah, that was pretty terrible.
Which
Yep.
just kind of leads me to believe that they're very capable of a lot of things. Unfortunately, I just I don't know what.
Yep.
None of us really know what, but we all have our suspicions, and
yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Do we know when Dawn's set to release?
Well, I don't know. I've heard that it was like October 30th, but I don't
very
know.
close to Halloween.
Right? But in my opinion, I think he's going to go to get out and think he's getting out, but I don't think he's going to.
Well, we can only hope, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm always weary to go down that road just because of the ongoing investigation. But that is the hope, and
yeah.
What'd you think of the show yesterday with Chris hitting 100,000?
That was just so awesome. I loved that. The thing that you had put out there for him, the oh my gosh, what do you call them? What you done for him?
Oh, the tribute.
Yeah, the tribute. Yeah, I thought that was so great. I was like, oh my gosh, kind of made me cry.
We had a lot of fun doing that, Peyton and I, when we were doing it, and he would like pull a clip and like we'd look at it and just like, oh man, that's just perfect, and so I mean, we went through a lot of footage all the way back to the very beginning of his channel, and it was just such a it was so fantastic, and he's I know that he's meant a lot to you, and also means a lot to me. So I was happy the way that the show turned out and all the support and the people that showed up, and what a gentleman.
Right? Yeah, it was great. I thought it was awesome. So
that's great.
I'm so proud of him reaching that many subscribers. That is awesome.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's something to definitely be proud about, Mary. And once again, thank you for that sign. I like keep looking. I have foam on the wall, and I think I might just nail screw it like with a metal reinforcements up on the either on the door or on the side. I want it to be able to be seen. It's such a cool, thoughtful sign, and I thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Jeannie helped me pick that out. Well, actually, she was the one who found it.
Oh, really?
And she's like, what about something like this? Yeah, she's like, what about something like this? And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Because the ones we found like had names across them, like, last names or something, so you could hang them up outside or something. And
right.
I was like, I wonder if they could put welcome to the lab on that. And I checked into it and they said, yeah, and I ordered it and I was like, sweet.
Yeah. When it showed up and I was like, and I didn't even know who it was from. And then you text me and I was like, oh my gosh, I was super excited. And I couldn't believe that you guys took the time to do that. And I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. I just, like I said, me and Jeannie had been talking and I was like, I want to send something to Josh. He's been so sweet. And she's like, that's a good idea. And we just started talking and talked about some stuff. And she's the one who found it. And
that's great.
I ordered it. And yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Mary.
All right.
And let me know when you're going to film
Okay.
that episode. I'll be super excited to watch it and happily throw it out there for you. And if you guys
Okay.
haven't, head on over to Mary's channel. And mods, I know that you're there, even though somebody said you weren't. I believe you that. But if you throw Mary's channel up there, that would be awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I really appreciate that. And also, one more thing I wanted to ask you. When I go to make some corn dogs, I was kind of thinking about going live, and I was wondering if you wanted to stream it for me.
Would I ever? I would love to
Right?
do that. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. So let's plan on that.
Okay.
And I'll let you know probably within about a week or so. I've been sick for the last couple of days. I think I might have COVID.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure. I went and got a test done, and it should be back probably by Monday or Tuesday. So
how are you feeling?
Yeah, like crap.
Yeah. It sounds like you have a bit of a cold.
Yeah.
But did you get a fever?
Yeah.
Body aches?
Yeah. I have every symptom except for I still have my taste and smell.
Yeah,
but I have every other symptom.
I think that this strain doesn't necessarily do that. I think that was kind of the original and the second one, but
right.
Who knows? But it sounds
right.
like you're pretty stable though.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. The headaches and the stomach and body aches is the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I know that it's on an uptick. I know that for sure. I know that
right.
It's going around again right before summertime, and hopefully people can enjoy. But yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like it's going anywhere.
Yeah.
But I remember that first go through with it. That was really, really terrible. But just stay hydrated, I guess, is what they really want you to do.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I've been trying to. I've been drinking a lot of water.
That's good. That's good.
I'll let you know if I end up having it.
Yes. Yeah.
And
it sounds like you do.
Right?
Yeah, it sounds like you do. So.
And then I'll get a hold of you. I'll message you in about a week or so and let you know when I'm going to be ready to do them and do the live and maybe get together.
Yeah, that sounds great. I would love to do that.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Mary. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay. See ya.
Bye-bye. Always lovely to hear from Mary. And let's see here. Well, it looks like we got another caller coming through. Where are you calling from, caller?
Good. Yo, Josh, Gilroy, California.
Gilroy in the house. How are you?
That's right. I'm doing awesome. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you much. What can I do for you?
Great. Hey, man, I just wanted to, I just watched you and I watched Chris and one other person on this Emma Wells case. And I've never left a comment about how I feel about it. But there's one thing, a sentence that in the narrative that every single person that told the story says, and it's not something that you would normally say. The sentence is, "Where's Summer? She went downstairs, okay? Went downstairs." They say she went downstairs to play with her toys, Mom, and every person that said to play with her toys, Mom, you wouldn't normally just, oh, she's downstairs. Downstairs.
Uh-huh.
Something is not like what would make her in 2 minutes panic when she called Summer that she was downstairs, that she might not be there in 2 to 3 minutes. You know?
Yeah. It was
when she goes out to play with her toy. It's like,
go ahead.
No, I was just saying that, in even 5 minutes, I think the timeline is wrong. I think what they're really saying is there's a couple hours in between, but that that one sentence that just says to play with her toys.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
don't,
saying?
I do not understand that, and I don't
Me
think
too.
most people buy this helicopter mother scenario. And
Mm-hmm.
so to me, what it obviously sounds like is a scripted story from the jump. And
Yep.
I've said this before, is that it's the only scenario that they can give that doesn't directly implicate them in the eyes of law enforcement, where they have put either a child in danger, neglect,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Basically what they have to say is, hey, she just went missing. I don't know what to tell you guys. And by all accounts and what they want you to believe, that's exactly what they told. I'd imagine. Well, that's what they've told the public, but sounds like that's what they told the police
Yeah.
too. That's what,
Yeah. And what that first interview with Chris, what I keep going back to, like the way that Candace looked at Don when he said that one specific thing, I thought, she's either scared out of her mind of him. They know something. They know something.
I think they're scared of each
And
other.
I just don't feel like, how are they that smart to get away with something like this? This is what blows my mind.
I don't think that they've gotten away with anything. And
right.
So, if it's announced that they've exhausted every lead and that everything is dried up, until like I hear that from
Right.
law enforcement, I wouldn't consider.
I'm talking about to a show that I watched about the full missing girl. Sorry, my husband got me talking to.
That's okay. Do they want to talk to? We can talk to them.
Yeah, he's like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, let's put everybody on the phone. Let's go.
Yeah. It's just, I just wanted to throw that out there about just that one little sentence, and it feels weird to me.
Right. It's a whole story. It's just, that's all it is. It's just a whole story from the beginning to end, unfortunately. But hopefully one day we'll look back and get some answers, and best case scenario is that Summer's okay, and then she gets to go live with a great family.
Yeah.
Not that family, but another family. That's
not that family. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Just don't.
Poor little thing. And I hope those boys. I hope they keep those boys away from them, and just all of that. And thank you, Mary, for her always being so kind, and you for your insight, and Chris. I appreciate you guys, and
thank you.
Let's find her.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for calling.
Right on.
All right.
Thanks, Josh.
All right, Gilroy.
Bye.
So there it was, Gilroy, California, and just all the inconsistencies that people talk about when it comes to the Summer Wells case. We get a lot of inconsistencies from really everywhere, unfortunately, and hopefully those inconsistencies are used against them. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Where are you calling from? Hello, caller. You there?
Hello.
Hi. Where are you calling from?
East Tennessee, actually.
Hey, okay, East Tennessee. How are you? Do you have your computer? Or are you listening on your computer?
I have a thought. Okay, I cut it off.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have one thought that came to mind. I've been following the case. I had helicopters and everything going over my house, when it happened. And so I've been kind of following it. And I have two thoughts. And the one is that maybe Candace didn't tell her, Summer didn't want to go in the house, that Candace sent her in the house, like you get in the house and go to your room, type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that maybe she just ran away and hid, afraid she might get into trouble.
Mm-hmm. And then what after that, then what?
then they couldn't find her, you know. And I think she was gone a lot longer than what the mom said.
I don't think that there's any, I mean, I guess there's no clear evidence other than that when the 911 call took place. Uh, I think so as well. But how far, first, how far could a 5-year-old barefoot get? And that day, that night, I mean, that's a massive search. It seems as though they would have found her.
True, but if you live here, I don't know, the woods are very dense, and I don't know. It's just my theory, and I don't know. Yeah, as I said, I live here in East Tennessee, and I've never heard of the drug, you know, like the cornbread mafia or anything. But then again, I don't deal in that stuff, so you know, they say it's very prevalent here, which I've just learned, you know, recently with this, and I've never, you know, known about it. But then again, I'm not in that circle, so
yeah. Well,
it just, you know.
So here's the problem. Say she runs off and hides, and they just couldn't find her, and God forbid, you know, an animal or something. You know, there's going to be, there's going to, they would find her. I mean, they just would. I don't know how many little kids just go off on foot wandering that don't get found. And a matter of fact, there's a statistic that says, you know, like 5 years old and between 3 and 5 year olds, kids that wander off are found like within 0.2 miles of their home or something like that. And that they don't get very far. You know, with a massive search, the way that they had it, heat-seeking drones and dogs, people on foot. I just don't think that she would have got that far. And so that's just how I feel about that. But no, I don't think that she wandered off at all.
Right. But I just don't think with Candace and Don, I just don't think that, especially with the way Candace drinks, when somebody drinks heavily, and I've been around people like that, they usually spill the beans. You know what I mean? She has kept so close to her script, which I don't think the script is correct. I don't think she looked for her after 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, that just, you know, like your caller earlier had said, you know, that just didn't make any sense to me. But I just think that, you know, she would have said something, but then, and I'm sure the boys would have said something by now. But then again, maybe the boys have, you know, the TBI. I mean, they have kept very close to the chest, or, you know, as they say, with the information. So, I mean, there may be a lot more that they know that nobody else knows. You know what I mean?
That's the hope. And I think also when you're talking about somebody getting drunk, and look, these aren't normal. I mean, it's not like stealing a pack of gum. Their lives depend on not telling what happened. Okay. Drunk or not. And when you lie about something the way that it seems as though that they've been lying about it, in my personal opinion, I mean, you kind of start to believe it. You're like, I'm not responsible for this. Whatever happened to her happened to her. It's not my fault. Why should I have to take the punishment? It's not, I didn't do anything wrong. Candace values her life and freedom and ability to get drunk and high more than she does having her children with her. Because if that were the case,
right? No, I totally agree with that.
So I don't know. It would be quite the coincidence that you would have such a sketchy household with such sketchy parents, and that she would wander off, and a year later she's still not found. I mean, we're not really dealing with, you know, aliens, in my opinion. Nobody got abducted. The parents, I mean, even Dr. Phil says, look, when this is all over, what happens is you're going to find somebody that's close to the family, or that you're going to know who is responsible for this. Well, it's got to be Candace. I mean, it's got to be Candace. Just her inactions alone. If Candace thought that Summer really wandered off and went missing or was abducted, then then she would have went and looked for her instead of playing with her hat the night that Allie called her or whatever. I got to get up to go take a polygraph. Who could go to bed after that? Could you go to bed after that? No, I couldn't. Not a chance. Some reason the call failed again. I didn't hang up on you. Sorry about that. That's a very great call and question. So sorry about that. I hate when that happens. I don't know why we drop calls sometimes, but I guess it happens. And by the way, I have the best mods in the world. So thank you guys for being here and doing this. I care 1,000 times more about my like your animals. Yeah, I mean, I do too, actually, which is kind of pathetic. Dawn barely got any sleep. Is that a shocker? It doesn't shock me at all. And thank you everybody for the super chats and super stickers. It's very, very kind of you. We got a phone call coming in. Let's see how this goes here. Boom. Hey,
Hello?
caller. Hey, caller. Go ahead. You're on the air. Where are you calling from?
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Oh, St. Paul. Twin City?
Yes.
I don't even know why they call it that. I remember they told me that in school, and I'm guessing
St. Paul, Minneapolis. Yeah, but Minneapolis has acquired quite a reputation as of late, and I try to stay in St. Paul as much as I can.
Yeah. Oh, well, that makes sense, actually. What can I do for you?
Well, I have a question. I was thinking on the lines of when Candace or Grandis mentioned that Summer wasn't feeling very well. And Summer didn't look well for a while, a couple of weeks there before she went gone. I was wondering if she had COVID and then they took her swimming in that cold water and that just threw her over the line, and she possibly was beyond coming back, and maybe she did pass at some time or other, and they covered it up due to whatever reason. We know the possibilities of that, which I won't go into, but that's my new theory, that she possibly was sick to begin with. I don't know what you think of that, but
I think that it is possible that she was absolutely sick, and that for whatever reason it wasn't dealt with in the proper way, and the way that Dawn and Candace, especially Candace, would think, because it does sound like, and I don't know this for a fact or anything, but it sounds like Dawn was at work, like especially when they were at like the swimming hole or whatever they were doing that day. just a bunch of nonsense, really. But it seems as though that is a very likely a top scenario. But it's just, why wouldn't, if a kid was just sick, you would think that you would just take him to the doctor or the hospital, unless you were doing something you weren't supposed to.
Yes, and I've often thought to myself, perhaps in the morning, Candace, they may have been taking Summer to the hospital and not even Grandis. Maybe that knee thing was just thought of to cover something up, because little Summer didn't make it to the hospital. So then Candace called Don, and I heard somewhere that Candace sent that picture of the milk and Summer laying her head on the milk. She sent him a picture of her, and I can't find it, but I did. Somebody had mentioned that, and I found that quite mysterious. But, and that's possibly when she decided that we just can't take her to the hospital. She was right there at the hospital. Even when Grandma was at the hospital, they could have had her checked. You know, how close do you get? You know, what is that, a coincidence? Or that to me is very mysterious also.
Mm-hmm. It certainly is mysterious, whatever happened there. It's hard to know, really, but it wouldn't surprise me even in the least if she was in poor health. Also, what I go back to all the time is Hunter saying that she was underwater for a certain amount of time, and that obviously was significant to him because he brought it up. And also, when you take a child in, there's going to be a medical exam, and maybe they weren't cool with that either, because it's like, well, if we take her in, I don't know what happened. Looks like we're getting dropped left and right here. I'm sorry, guys. Don't be mad at me. Give this a try again.
Josh?
Yeah, is that you again? Are you there?
Yeah.
Did we get disconnected?
I can't believe I got through. Well, I keep I'm trying to watch a show and then call. I'm trying to watch a show and then call, because I don't know how to do all this stuff. I'm old.
Is this was I just talking to you, or are you a new caller? I can't tell.
I'm a new caller.
Oh, new caller. Where are you calling from?
I'm a new caller. I am calling from Florida.
Florida.
And I just want to tell you, I think the world of you and Chris McDonough, and I think that you guys do the best.
Thank you.
And there's so many questions that could have happened this summer. We don't know.
We don't know.
Ellie does, and I just want to, my dog got very sick tonight, and on our way, take her to the vet. Chris McDonough is just the best man in the world.
He's great.
And I watch for him every day just to hear his voice. You should do bedtime stories for children and adults. Not that he puts them to sleep, but he's got a calming voice, and you do too.
Oh, thank you.
And this is Cindy, by the way.
Cindy.
I'm sure you. Yes. I
think I've seen you in the chat a couple times.
Yeah. I just love you guys.
Thank you so much.
And
I appreciate
you taught me who to hang with and who not to.
Yeah.
And I'm older than you. Yeah. So I appreciate you guys very, very much.
Yeah.
And you're gonna hit the 100,000. I don't know how to send you guys money. I've tried, but my phone don't allow it.
Oh, it's not
And
necessary, but thank you for watching. That means just as much.
but I do send, and I've been watching Dylan, Dylan's father, and I've been letting people know about that.
Yeah.
That's the only way. I really don't know how to work the computer too much.
Well, you
and
got
I
through
remember,
though.
Yeah, because I had to keep on calling, and I had to go back to your show and keep calling, go back to your show. I was like, I don't know what to do, and I was ready to give up. I said, I'm not going to even try and call again.
Oh. I'm glad you did.
You are the best.
Thank
Chris
you.
McDonough is the best, and I've been showing people about Dylan and Michael and Summer. I can't even explain about Summer. When I talk to my friends about Summer, they're like, "What happened?" Just read about it because it's so crazy. But I really have to tell you, you and Chris, he's the best. And when I heard he was in Florida, I said, I wish I was on I-75. I would have pulled that Airstream over. Move over.
Yeah.
Everybody thought Johnny Depp was good. I want his autograph. So, and you too, Chris.
Yeah, he's a special man for sure.
But do me a favor, if you could.
Sure.
I would love this. I would love to see an interview with your grandmother.
Yeah, that's something that has been discussed and we have talked a bit, and I think that could possibly very well happen. Absolutely.
Well, Joshua, when you said that, I said, ooh. Because when I get upset with my children, I say their first and middle name.
Yeah.
And she didn't do that.
Yeah, she likes
do you have a middle name?
Yeah, it's Daniel, and she reminds me of it all the time when I'm in trouble.
Oh, well, then you weren't in big trouble that night.
Well, there's one where
there's
I get a Joshua Daniel, like when she's like, "Oh, Joshua Daniel," or especially when I was younger, I would get the Josh Daniel. When it was the Josh Daniel, you're like, button it up, buddy, because grandma's not happy. Josh Daniel.
When you called her and you said we're on the air, and she said Joshua, I said, oh, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's not, because and then I said, well, maybe he doesn't have a middle name.
Oh, I got one, and she knows.
Anyway, I just want to tell you guys, I love you guys very, very much. I cannot even believe I got through. I don't know how to do the ring the bell and to get information when you're. So I check on you guys every day, believe it or not.
Oh, that's very kind.
And I'm like, they're coming on.
How about I'll tell you this right now. I have been and I've been slow at this, but I would like to get kind of a set schedule for shows, and so that's been something that I've been looking into doing. I just gotta decide when and where.
Well,
so it'll be easier.
And your son's graduating. You got a lot going on. Your mother was sick, but please believe me, when I put in the chat, I've been praying. You guys, I put you on prayer list.
Thank
you. They're like, who's this? I said, a friend of mine. I can't tell them you're on YouTube now. A friend of mine on YouTube. But you guys are absolutely amazing. And God bless Mary.
Yeah,
and
God bless
Dean.
Mary. Yes, absolutely.
They're in my prayers too. So pray for my dog, Roxy. She ended up in the emergency room, and that's why I look up Chris McDonough, and he was on. He gave I was like, oh my gosh, she's there. So, God intervenes in everybody's life, no matter where we're at.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And thank you for keeping us in your prayers. It's always appreciated. Positive thoughts and prayers do actually make a difference.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much.
You're gonna hit the 100,000. I tell people when my friends come over, I'm like, watch him. Next thing you know, my girlfriend signed up for it. She goes, oh, I like him. That's you.
That's
I didn't have the chance to because that's when you did the thing about the pastor. Because she goes, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that was a bit.
I'm spreading the word. I'm not good on the internet. I don't know how to do this or that. And I'm old. Not a computer that great. But I am so glad you answered. And God bless you and your son. And congratulations on his graduation.
Thank you.
And
we're gonna have a big party.
Keep those memories and make more memories with them.
We're gonna have a big party, and so I'll post a couple photos online, and maybe show a little bit here on the channel. I'm very proud of him and all the work that he's done for me on this channel as well. So thank you.
And that was wonderful that tribute you gave to Chris. He deserves it, and I don't like people knocking him. There are other channels that I watch, but if they talk bad about Chris McDonough, I'm like, goodbye.
Yep.
No like there. I'll get rid of them, but I don't put a like.
Yeah, they don't know the things that he's done. They just know what they see on YouTube, and as it's only skin.
It's what they heard. It's what they read.
It's just surface level.
What about that song he wrote for Leticia Hernandez?
It's fantastic.
What detective have I ever known? And I've known a few detectives that wrote a song about a child. There's no way.
No, none. I mean, none.
I had
that I know of.
None. Well, there is a very special man that, God bless his soul, he basically adopted me. And he was a homicide detective. His name is Tony Correa. And you can look him up. He is the most honest, he was the most honest person I ever met in my life. He would tell me, hey, Cindy, you're screwing up here. Or, you're right about this, or you're wrong about this. That's the way he was. Chris McDonough, the way he acts with you, is the way Tony Correa acted with me. And he's number one. Yes. So that's why I admire you guys' friendship.
Thank you.
And you can't put that in a comment,
Right.
But whenever I see the two of you together, I say, that's me and Tony. Your dad.
Yeah. I love that.
Him and his wife called me over to their house, and they said, you are not to call us Mr. and Mrs. Correa anymore, or Tony and Marie Correa anymore. I was like shocked.
Yeah, absolutely.
They said, you are to call us mom and dad.
It's nice when people come into your lives and that mean a lot to you. And even at any point in your life, it really doesn't matter. Always looking for, and I've always gravitated towards people that were smarter than me, that were more knowledgeable than I was. And I've always tried to kind of sponge off of, those kind of people, because that's how we get better as well. So thank you so much for calling, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Josh.
All right.
God bless you.
Right.
And how's your dog doing?
Oh, he's fine. He's just, 9 months old, and
who's in charge of the house? You or the dog?
The dog. Of course,
I told you to step over him a few times.
It's not even a debate. I mean, he runs everything. He is.
I told you got to step over him when he's laying there. Step over him. Step over him. Step over him. You didn't do that, did you?
No, I didn't.
You have to.
I know. He's just so cute.
That's the alpha. Read on it.
I know, but he's just so cute.
He'll look up and be like, "Are you crazy?" But do it a couple of times. I'm telling you, it works.
He's just so cute. I don't know. I don't like disciplining him that much.
Well, no, that's not disciplining him. That's stepping over him. You go over him, and he'll look up at you like, "What are you doing?" Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. And then I'm like, "Oh, you're the boss of the house."
Well,
I'm telling you.
I'll tell you that I'm going to try it, but I don't think that I think Otis is just different.
Try it.
He's just different.
No, that's what I thought about. Roxy Rose Rules.
Well, I'll give it a shot.
That's her name.
I'll give it a shot and I'll report back to you.
Step over. It's not being mean. It's like you step over and they will look at you like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Do it again. 10 times in the morning, 10 times in the afternoon, 10 times in the evening. They get it. Oh, you're the boss. You're the alpha. I swear it will work.
Well, whenever he gets a hold of like one of my hats or something and I chase him, he runs to the corner, drops it, and puts his like paw up like this, like, hey, enough. I said, well, all right.
Yeah, he's telling you. Okay. Well, when he tells you to drop and roll and here's a treat, you know that Otis won. I would try it because somebody told me that. I said, well, that sounds weird. They said, do it, son.
He's something
and I did it, and my dog started listening to me. It's a weird thing, but it did work.
I'll step over him, and then tomorrow he'll step over me, I'm sure. But I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Thank you, Josh.
All right, thank you so much.
Finally glad I got through, and you guys are the best.
All right, well,
really you are. God bless you.
God bless you too. Take care.
And your grandmother. I want to hear the interview from your grandmother. Where that she can tell some stories.
We can make something
nice one.
I think we can make that happen.
Huh?
I think we can make that happen.
Good.
All right. Thank you so much.
Right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Got time for another caller. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can. Absolutely.
Is this Josh?
I can hear you.
Hey, Josh. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Hey, Josh. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
This is Annie calling from Detroit.
Hi. Hi, Annie. How are you?
I'm good. I left you a comment last night under Alan H.
Uh-huh.
That's my husband's phone. And I said, peace and love to you. I don't know if you read it. Maybe you didn't read it, but it doesn't matter.
I think I wrote back peace and love.
Yeah, and that you were the only person that ever returned, a comment or whatever. Yeah. That was really sweet. You really perked my day up.
I'm trying to get better at it, and I try to get into the comments, and because I really do like responding to people and talking with them. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah, you're great. You're like coast to coast.
Yeah, thank you.
Coast to coast. Yeah.
With Art Bell.
And actually, I listen to him all the time.
Yeah. In fact, he was the best.
But no, I went to school for radio. So yeah, you're great, Josh.
Oh, thank you. You're
great.
That. I appreciate it.
And this is just the beginning, baby.
Thank you.
This is just the beginning.
Thank you.
For you.
That means a lot.
But now a couple. Oh yeah. Yeah. What city in California are you in?
I'm up in Eureka, Humboldt County.
Okay. Well, I'm here in the suburbs of Detroit.
Okay.
Don't come here.
Nope.
Because what you hear is true. Just kidding. Just kidding. Anyway, so listen, regarding summer, there's something that's been bothering me. If you're familiar with Nora Jasmine, who's also a YouTuber, I don't know the protocol. Are you supposed to mention other people? Whatever. But
I don't know who that is. But
she
go ahead.
said, Nora Jasmine, she did a feature on summer. One of the neighbors wrote to CPS and said they used to lock Summer in the basement. Now, if you go to Nora Jasmine, you can hear it. She wrote a letter to CPS, and she read the whole letter on her channel. They used to lock Summer in the basement. Now, one of my theories is, okay, they got home, Candace was tired, didn't want to deal with her, put her in that basement, and then what do? You take that little bar thing that they had, slide it over there. She's in there. She's not getting out. You know what I'm saying? And maybe there was a tussle. Maybe she hit her head. Maybe Candace hit her and she fell.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my theory. I think if it, it's the most likely theory. See what I'm saying? And I think Candace wanted to have her own time, mommy time, to do what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention the fact, I think there's some drug dealing going on there. Maybe they're making some money on the side, something like that. What are your thoughts?
I think that there was an accident and a cover up, and I think that that's the most. I don't know where, what, when, how, but I do think that that's what happened. I think that whatever happened, they wanted to cover up, and they had no problem doing it instead of taking responsibility for what happened, like a normal family would, or trying to save her life or whatever. I think that she was failed on every single level that a child could be failed on. None of those kids should have been in that house
no,
at all.
And remember, CPS was coming.
Yeah, I mean, that is, and Candace is not a huge CPS fan because she's had her run-ins with them in the past. And what ends up happening is she will absolutely go to extreme lengths, as i.e. pulling a shotgun on somebody. She pulled a shotgun on a CPS worker. I mean, yeah, they don't like law enforcement. They just don't. They never have. They never will.
Right. And their needs are first, because it's not their kids. It should be the other way around, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So whatever their needs, their wants, their agenda, and their children are secondary. And it's just, I don't know. But then there's the theory with Summer dancing around that barrel. There's another thing.
I think secondary is too generous. They're an afterthought, all of those children. Secondary would mean that there was some sort of pecking order that they actually gave a damn about their kids, but I don't see any resemblance of that. I never have. And, people say all the time, well, how come you're harsh on them, but not other people? I don't see the same things. Look, I get that there's always going to be suspicious stuff about everybody. That when a child goes missing, the family's going to be scrutinized no matter what, right, wrong. It doesn't, that's immaterial, but I'm criticizing them for the things that I've seen personally. And the fact that they don't even take the time to look has been infuriating for me, because I mean, I remember I had a little mouse and he got out in the house. I couldn't find him for days. He was a little cute little white little mouse. I thought the world of him. I never found him. Never. I don't know what happened. I'm guessing he made it out the dog door or something.
Never found him ever?
No, and my grandma would say, Josh, don't let the mouse out of its cage. Well, what did I do? I was a kid. I let it out of its cage. I cried myself to sleep probably 3-4 nights in a row. I didn't tell anybody.
Oh.
And my heart was broken from a little mouse. Okay. Because it was mine and I loved it. And matter of fact, thinking about it right now, I'm just like, look, I was like 7, but I was heartbroken. So the fact that they can't even muster up the ability. And, you know, in hindsight, I should have told everybody, but I was scared I was going to get in trouble. And I thought that I would finally I just told, and my grandparents knew that I was heartbroken, and it's just.
And you were afraid to tell them about your little mouth, huh?
Yeah, I certainly was. Yeah. Yeah. I was a bashful child. You probably wouldn't think that of it. You know, I had to do a lot of work on myself. You know, as a little kid, I was very gun shy. So
introverted.
Yeah, probably. And I mean, it all goes back to, like, you know, my early childhood. But I was scared, but I just wanted, like, I just wanted to play with it, you know, and I did. And then I took my eye off for a second and he got out, you know, and, I look though. I mean, I remember just looking and looking and looking, and it was just, you know, stupid, sad. And I still think about it sometimes, but obviously
I don't know if I'm saying it's just 7 years old. I don't know how old you are, but boy, you can't let anything go, can you?
I mean, I'd let it go, but it sucked. and you know, and I remember even they would say, trying to comfort me, it's just a mouse, you know, he's probably out, you know, doing mice things. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, he probably got picked up by a hawk or something. I don't know, man. I was just devastated about it. But you know,
that's funny.
I cared more. I probably still care more about that mouse. That's what infuriates me about it, is that most people, I mean, I think about what that little rodent did to me. I couldn't imagine a child. I just couldn't.
Right. Oh yeah.
And it bothers me every day.
And then how could you even sleep? How could you sleep?
She went to sleep
I
that
would
night.
go as long as I could. I know. She went right to bed or whatever, drank herself to bed or whatever.
I'm sure she was drunk.
You know. Now, see, here's the thing. What do you think about this vigil that's coming up? What are your thoughts?
I think that it should be for the locals, and anybody going there with any
road tripping. Like, you don't like the idea that people are road tripping it there?
No, I don't. I actually hate that idea. I think it's stupid.
It's
not a you know, it's not a vacation. It's not a happy time. If people want to go and pay their respects, I'm not going to tell people that they shouldn't do that, but we'll just have to see, man. If people are making it about them, it's going to be awful, but I don't know. I hope not. I really hope not.
Yeah, I hope it's going to be dignified, and if somebody streams it, I'm going to watch it, you know, but I don't want to get into the drama, you know. Keep it classy, keep it dignified, and stay focused, you know.
Yeah, we have major problems with
that. Okay, well, Josh, I appreciate you taking my call.
Thank you so much.
We could talk all night. Yeah. I think you're great.
Thank you.
And we all appreciate you and what you're doing for that little girl. And oh my God, what happened this summer? You know, where's that little girl?
I agree. It's a tragic story, and hopefully all of the missing children that we talk about, Cody Bigsby and Nicole Overstreet, Michael Vaughn, Summer Wells, that we can get some progress made and something be done, and whoever's responsible for the actions are held accountable.
All right, I'm sorry to keep you, but listen, here's the thing. This is my scenario. They put Candace in a cell. They put John in a cell. And cops are allowed to lie. They can interrogate you, and legally they can lie to you.
Yeah.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
They can. I mean, sit there until you get your timeline right. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand why the police can't do more. You know, like, that's so frustrating to me.
That's a good question. It is a good question. And it's frustrating. We're not in the know, so that is frustrating, and that really sucks.
Yeah.
And hopefully we will all get some answers. But Don and Candace don't think that we deserve it. They don't. They basically think, hey, it's our daughter. What are you guys worried about? I truly feel that way. I've heard them say, "It's our daughter. It's my daughter." So, but yeah, I understand, and it is frustrating. But hang in there. Hopefully, we can get some answers, and keep pursuing justice. This little girl doesn't have a voice anymore. We're her voice, and hopefully, we can make everything better, meaning we can bring awareness to not just these situations, but future situations. Because one day the Summer Wells case will be over, or not talked about, or not thought about like it is now. But trust that there will always be something new, somebody new. And unfortunately, that's just how how the world is right now. But thank you so much for your call, and we will
thank you.
And thank you so much. Peace and love.
Oh, peace and love. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
I sure will. Thank you. All right, folks. Well, there it was. Great call-in show. I appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and call it a night here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the super chat, super stickers, new subscribers, old subscribers. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate it. And to the best mods in the world, thank you so much. Also, tomorrow, D. Warner Part 2 with Chris McDonough on the interview room. Make sure to check that out as well. And thank you guys so much for being here.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There is not, really? It is to me. Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I had to put her on the side and where
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There is not, really? It is to me.
Right. Idiot. I've done my best. It's hard, that's real tough.
but I had to put her on the side and where it was the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
It's not, really? It is to me.
But I had to put her on the side and where it was the boys. But I had to.
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her. But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys